Carrie, it was a wonderful thing to meet you, and it just to have you as a first teacher when I went back into the water, and decided to swim again, it really has changed my life.
Wow, thank you.
It has the added advantage of being true. I mean, there's just something so, both that you're knowledgeable and you're, I don't know, you're just right there. It was really, it was fun from the first minute, and I was scared, When I first came in, what I really wanted to do is go to the next step. However, I wasn't even very clear about that. I just had a sense that I wanted to feel more powerful and more graceful in the water, and have a sense of just being stronger at it.
Right.
And getting some things that I'd never gotten, and I knew that part of that was going to be learning to breathe on the left.
Right.
Which has been my nemesis for a long time. Because when I was taught swimming, they didn't teach you on both sides. So that, and I knew that was an obstacle in a way. But I really, for a long time, I wanted to just learn more about it. So that was my first goal.
Yeah, I remember.
Just getting more relaxed and more, just to have my stroke feel better.
Yeah.
I never wanted to race. I wanted to just have that experience.
Right.
And I think now it's, the notion of distance swimming had never occurred to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely have thought about that, because once you had fixed all of the major errors in your stroke, and you looked good at all, the first thing I thought was, okay, we want to see how much, how long she can swim like that, and how far and how fast she can swim doing that.
Well, those were things that you brought to it, because I never even thought of that. I mean, all I was thinking about was getting my form into some kind of decent shape so I could get across the pool in some kind of way. So that, kind of taking me further in ways that I hadn't really even dared to think about in a way. But also when you talk about rock climbing and say, well, when I'm doing these things, when I'm running, when I'm climbing, and I'm having trouble, this is what helps me.
Yeah.
And then it makes me feel like, oh, okay, so everybody, great news, right? But everybody in the world has troubles with it, and and she has it, and that really makes a difference too. So that part of the experience, it's not just about swimming, it's about learning something and struggling with your own personality, both your strengths and your weaknesses.
All of that stuff will come out when you're put in this position of being, feeling awkward and uncoordinated and maybe a little frustrated. What will come out is, are you patient with yourself? Can you get yourself focused? And that will teach you, if you're not good at those things, it will teach you how to be more focused, how to be more patient with yourself while you're trying to.
And having somebody who is able to be that with you is one of the ways that you learn to be.
Well, I'm glad I could be that person.
But what I'm really looking forward to this summer is, you offered that we could go and do some, to teach me how to swim in open water, and that really sounds exciting.
Well, I can't wait to swim outside too.
But for me to really feel that I can do something like that, it just it's thrilling, because I'm going to be 60 next month.
Right.
And just to take on something like this really makes me very happy, and it makes me feel really alive. And you've been part of that.
Well, you've earned it. You've earned it. Thank you.
So why do people who already know how to swim, at least so that they won't drown, what do they get from this?
By improving their stroke, or by focusing on technique? Well, I personally respond very strongly to the idea of lifelong learning, that whatever I'm doing, at least the things I do that I value, that I can continue improving. One of our philosophies that we emphasize a lot is what we call Kaizen, which is a Japanese term for continuous improvement. And the idea that you can have that as a possibility, that in middle age you could be getting better and better at something, and indeed do it far better than you did as a teenager.
And far differently.
That's
something that fascinates me. It's not just better, it's not just faster, or it's with a whole different experience, because as a result of this, when I'm in a pool, I'm never bored.
Right. Well, it's with awareness, with a clear sense of purpose, with an understanding of how the parts work together.
Well, it's also a whole body experience,
Whole body,
it's a whole mental experience,
right.
and just what we're doing in that lesson about the pitch of the hands, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, because of the hands, then the arms and the whole, and you get the feeling of being one piece, and that's really, at that moment where I'm actually swimming, it felt you've probably noticed, it felt totally different.
It's swimming as a movement art,
Yes.
not as a sport.
That's
Now,
right.
even if you do it as a sport, and I do it as a sport, I swim competitively in open water and master swimming, I get the most satisfaction from practicing it as a movement art.
Well, that's the thing that I love about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I wanna go a little bit more into the, if not competitive, at least
A little bit
faster,
of
but.
performance
Yeah,
measurement.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that is really the thing that sets this apart for me, is that it's like dancing, and particularly
Yeah.
since I had so many frustrations not being able to dance on land because of all these injuries,
Mhm.
suddenly in the water,
Feels like
that's not
dancing.
a problem.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, you still have some body issues of all kinds, but it's not the same, you aren't held back, there aren't the same obstacles.
Mhm.
And the dreaded buoyancy, really is actually a help in certain ways, so.
Yeah.
So that's been, to me, the ongoing excitement of all of this. is-
Well, that's the nice part for us boomers, so we can get in the water, and on one hand, it's more forgiving than things we do on land.
Right.
On the other hand, it presents some really interesting problems to solve. Our bodies are not meant to be in water, we're not sort of wired to move in water, so figuring out how to solve the problem of the fact that water's not very cooperative for skilled movement is, the fact that you can be problem solving means that even as you're aging, you can be improving. Maybe you're not as fit, maybe your strength is declining a little bit, whatever, but you can be improving by solving these problems that are unique to water.
It's a tremendously challenging intellectual and emotional and physical experience.
Yeah.
It's really changed my life.
So it sounds pretty all encompassing.